My mentor, his hotel caught on fire 2 weeks ago. And he had, it was 9 a.m. and everyone had just left at 8 to go to a conference. And the great news is no one was hurt, but none of their stuff was there when they got back. And so watching him walk through that and just be like, cool, everything's figureoutable helps me realize no matter what the challenge is, it's nothing worth losing sleep over.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson. And today I'm joined by Dawn, who's been making some serious moves in short-term rental space for the last decade. Dawn, welcome in. Glad to have you.
Hello, hello. Good to meet you, Micah.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're here. I've really enjoyed our conversation pre-call. I think our listeners are going to take a lot of value away from today, not just your overall journey in real estate, but what you're focusing on. For the folks that are interested in short-term rentals, boutique hotels, they're in for a treat today. So let's dive in. First off, for folks who aren't really that familiar with you yet, tell us a little more about yourself and what your main focus is right now.
Absolutely. So my name's Dawn Cornett, and I'm in a little town called Granbury, Texas, that is literally like living in a Norman Rockwell movie. If you've never seen Granbury Square, you need to. Couldn't be more charming. And here we have built a thriving short-term rental business. About 35 of our short-term rentals are in this little town of Granbury. The other 15 are in other states across the nation, but we have built quite a brand with Skyview Vacations. It's been super fun, and have really focused the last 2 years on diving into boutique hotels and marketing boutique hotels, which is one of my favorite subjects.
That we're going to get to it. Real quick question. What led you to hospitality? How'd you get to where you are today doing what y'all do now?
It was before I even knew about Airbnb. Quite a few years ago, 15, 17 years ago, I rented a house off Texas Lake House Vacations.com or something like that for my son's birthday. And when we pulled up and rented this house big enough for our extended family to all go stay and spend a weekend, got to know the owner a little bit and called her back and said, wait a minute, does your guest revenue pay all the bills on this? And then I called her back a few hours. I'm like, what about the lawn care? What about your taxes? And I kept calling back with questions. She's like, yeah. I was like, baby, we're buying a family lake house that other people are going to pay for. So that's what started our hospitality journey.
I love that. It's one of the fun things about real estate. You can leverage it to get the stuff you want to and still make money. Now, let me ask you this. The hospitality side, what do you think is that it factor in there? You don't stay in this for 10 years not being good at it. What would you say sets apart just the best at the STR space? What are they? Because to me, it's not really the same business. It's a hospitality business
Different.
when you're doing that. What are the mindsets you need to take into it?
It really is. And I'll tell you, we all have our little quirks in the way our brain thinks, but I have an obsession about thinking of everything that a guest might want during their stay before they think of it. So you're not going to walk into one of my houses and have to move furniture to get to a wall outlet to plug in your phone. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. And every little detail, thinking of it and seeing a space from a guest perspective. So absolutely obsessed. Love doing that and crafting spaces that way.
And it's a gift too. I'm not really good at the being in an empty space and seeing it for what it can be part. I know that about myself, and I'm kind of jealous of other people that are, because I'll walk with them through a house and they're like, well, what about this? What about this? I'm just like, man, that is a gift to be able to see that. I think in different ways. So it is, that's where I learned one, real estate's huge, and finding yourself in your particular niche is really what leads you to that long-term success. It's not necessarily ever what you got started in real estate either. We grow over time and get to adjust. Now, were y'all doing anything before STRs in real estate?
Yeah, we actually both have longstanding IT careers. So mine was in cybersecurity. Just got to leave my W-2 a year ago, actually. It was my full-time side hustle, and then I had my full-time W-2. So it was a long journey, but yeah, both IT backgrounds. So a lot of corporate, a lot of professional, but it was always B2B in the past.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, congratulations. You've
Thank you.
done it. You pulled off that goal. Now, how long did it take you, if you don't mind me asking? How long did you know, like, okay, I want to phase this out and real estate be full time? And then how long was that journey to making it reality?
I feel like what we all went through with COVID was profound in different ways for each one of us, right? But for me, getting to not be gone at work 12 to 16 hours a day and working from home shifted something in me where like I got to listen to the sound of the birds while I worked. Like I had a need for something more peaceful that I had never craved before. So it was 2021 where I was like, I can't go back to that life. Like when they call us back in the office, my soul can't do it. I can't do this again. You know what I mean? And I need to be able to have time to take breaks during the workday and meditate and do different things and have a different kind of life. I also hit my 50th birthday last year. And I think with our milestone birthdays comes different goals and awarenesses and priorities. So it took about 4 years from when I made the decision. I was a very high six figure earner. And so it has not been the easiest path to replace that income, but the peace and freedom has become higher priority than anything.
Love that. And I agree. I just turned 40 recently, and there's something about milestone birthdays. There's really
Mhm.
something about it. They're not just a joke or cliches, that your mind really shifts to like, what's really important to you? What kind of life do you really want to have? I agree with you in COVID. Now, I came from the medical field, and I knew then back in it was about 2013, I was like, I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to be locked up in a house or in an office or a hospital all day, and started creating that life where I could work from home. But that same kind of experience where my soul said, nope, we're not trading that truth for membership anymore there at all. Like your life,
Mhm.
it's not worth it. It had gotten to the point I was sleeping in like gloves full of lotion because my so stressed the skin was falling off my fingers. And I was just like, I can't keep doing this. I have to have this adjustment. And that was at 29 to 30. And now I'm going into 40 and feeling that same kind of, okay, how do you stabilize? That's my big word right now, is how do you stabilize? How do you create sustainable, scalable, stable? That is what I'm
Mhm.
always after. And especially in my time, that's not just a money thing to me. That's a mentality thing to me. Like I like finishing work on a break and going in and just seeing my dog, going on a walk around my neighborhood, doing some yoga, like you said, meditate.
Mhm.
It really, I'm glad COVID happened in some ways for that reason. It changed everything. It really changed so much about how we view and process, even where video calls feel like we're hanging out, right? Like
Yeah.
that didn't used to be a thing, and now it's way more accepted. And shoot, I love FaceTiming my kids when I don't have them. I get to see them. It's like, okay, cool. Uh,
Yep, I
yeah.
couldn't agree
Anyway,
more. And it's so interesting because our body will tell us, yours was skin issues, mine was gut issues, and it just was compounding and getting worse and worse until we listened to our bodies.
right. right? And you do. It will tell you because humans don't change quickly when we don't feel like we need to. That's kind of
Hmm.
the hard part. Things got to get hard for us to change. It's the opposite side of it all, but it always does that. So if you're listening or viewing or watching this and you notice some stuff in your gut and your soul and you're like, okay, what is actually happening? Don't just shove that down. Take a deep breath there. Take a moment to understand, especially if you're around one of those milestone birthdays, you are actually changing. That's biology. That's being human. So don't just throw that away. Your moment could be there just like Dawn's was to be free. So listen to it. Okay. Soapbox over. That's my we'll hop off that one because I really want to dig into what you're working on now. So you did short-term rentals and now you're jumping into the boutique hotel space. One, what was that desire for that transition and what have you found so exciting about it so far?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, like everything, we are a product of our environment, and whoever we're around, the top 5 people we spend the most time with, we will become just like them. Our spending habits, our eating habits, our mindset habits, everything, right? So I found myself in a mastermind community of people who were all investing in boutique hotels. And so before I knew it, I was like, okay, this seems like a good idea. Why am I trusting Fidelity with my 401k when I can do a self-directed IRA and go do investments here and there? And so I was finding experts that I trusted to go use my retirement money differently and invest in cool projects that I could kind of watch from afar. And my obsession for hospitality and guest experience was like, okay, so I want to be more hands on. I want to run a hotel. And there was and we attract what we desire. And so there was a local multi-generation family here that ended up calling me out of the blue and saying, "Hey, we just bought this hotel and we're going to do this huge historic renovation. It had burned down on the inside, and we'd like to know if y'all want to come run it for us." I was like, "Of course you do." So that was our
Yeah.
first time to manage a hotel, and it was one that we did not own. So it's like co-hosting a boutique
Okay.
hotel, small little 8 room, but very strong historic roots. And I mean, we have guests all the time that were like, I stayed here 40 years ago for my anniversary. And it's really cute and charming. And then from there, it's just kept rolling into, okay, then I meet somebody else who is like looking for someone to manage their hotel. And instead of just managing, why don't we become equity partners? And so that way we have more skin in the game. So it's really fun meeting people who want to get into fun, exciting investments, but they don't want to go do it themselves. So why not partner with somebody who has the experience in doing it?
Real estate's a team sport. Very rarely is one person really good at all the things that need to happen to make a strong deal take place. Very rarely,
Mhm.
very rarely. I mean, you can't even close on a building by yourself. You need a team of
Yeah.
people just to do that. Finding those, because you're right, some folks do have the property. They just need the person to run it. And that's where your skills can come in. And then now you're leveraging that. And again, I love this with real estate educate you. One, you're in a mastermind educating yourself. Then you got an opportunity to educate yourself in real time and earn income. And now it's equity plays and continuing to co-host because that's how real estate runs, y'all. That is the benefit of putting yourself around people like the rooms that she's talking about. It's where the success happens.
And the
It's where
power
the
of being in
dreams come true.
masterminds is I don't have to be scared of stepping into something I've never done before because I'm surrounded by someone in my community now has done it, right?
Right. Right. And it's how you shortcut. It's the only shortcut to the process, in my opinion. There are no shortcuts in real estate. It's all a process, but there are shortcuts to that process if you put yourself in the right room, like you're talking about. Folks that'll show you. One thing my mentor says, if the problem you have is in your phone and only a phone call away, you don't have a problem. You have a phone call to make. Call,
Mm.
make the call, talk to the person. That's the whole point of putting them in your network is when life happens or if business happens, boom, I can go solve that and that, for me, it limits a massive amount of stress in my own life. Would you say that same thing in yours?
100%. It gives me courage to do things I wouldn't do otherwise and gives me the shortcuts to overcome the hurdles because, challenges happen all the time.
They do. Well, take us through a challenge you've experienced in the hotel space so far. What's something that leaps out for you where you've had to overcome it recently?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, I don't know if this is a typical one. We had guests upset Friday night because they heard noise outside and they thought it was domestic violence. And so they decided to leave. And it turns out, upon looking at the cameras, it was someone she had just drank too much and decided to take off her clothes and pee in front of the room because she couldn't figure out how to use the lock. That's the first thing that comes to mind. There's all sorts of little guest nuances, and like nothing
Right.
gets you upset anymore. If a house septic overflows, if, with the freezes we get in Texas, no matter what happens, everything's figure outable. It's one of my favorite phrases. Everything's figure outable, no matter what happens. And all these hospitality or real estate challenges, like there's no reason to let any of us get to us anymore. Like you said, we make the phone call. Who's been through this before? My mentor, his hotel caught on fire 2 weeks ago. And he had, it was 9 a.m. and everyone had just left at 8 to go to a conference. And the great news is no one was hurt, but none of their stuff was there when they got back. And so watching him walk through that and just be like, cool, everything's figure outable helps me realize no matter what the challenge is, it's nothing worth losing sleep over.
That is a very powerful way to say it. I love that quote as well. My wife and I have that in a little picture frame in our room up on a shelf. Everything is figure outable because we were talking about personal development, you and I, a little bit before we started
Mhm.
recording, but that is one of the, in my opinion, one of the most powerful personal development statements because it puts you back in the present. It's not
Mhm.
about what does the end look like? It's about what do I do now? What's the next step? And that's how you figure out anything. And when you realize that, like you just said, you don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out when things come. I remember thinking in my younger life where I felt like that was what I was supposed to do. Well, this is terrible. I should freak out. And now I've learned that's the opposite of anything you should ever do. It's first, deep breath. Second, it's okay. Are you alive? Okay. Then it's okay. You got a chance to at least do something. And then that slow progress forward. Okay. What is the next step? Does it feel good? No. Do we want to figure it out as fast as we can? Yes. But will trying to rush that process help? Never, ever. It's
And
just
the language we use with others and ourselves is so incredibly powerful. One of the biggest gifts I got a few years ago at a personal development event I went to is learning that if I say something's hard or it's tough, my body releases stress hormones. But if I say something's challenging, my body looks for ways to overcome the challenge. And so those have left my vocabulary. I have challenges all the time, but nothing's ever hard anymore. And so these little tweaks we can make can change the way my body responds to the world around me.
100%. Our brains don't know we're joking. They
Mhm.
don't process that language. It's when you discover how important your self-talk is and how it's literally creating your life. What you are experiencing right now is what you tell yourself you are experiencing. It's fascinating to me. Language itself, when I was learning that, I started to understand what they meant by magic spells. Like there's nothing magic about it. You're spelling, you're saying these things out loud that your brain will come true. I remember when it kind of first hit me, I was getting sick one day and I said, I think I'm getting sick. And then I thought about it for a second, like, wait, whoa, hold on. Why would you tell yourself that? Even as simple as that. Like if you get sick, okay, that's okay. But don't invite it in by adopting the mentality first. Cause the first thing you do, your shoulders slump. So you start coughing. Like it's literally that simple and powerful where it really matters what you do say to yourself. You change your story, you can change your life.
Couldn't agree more.
All right. So before we finish up for the day, I'm excited for what is ahead for you in 2026. What's got you super pumped for this year?
Oh, we have such big goals. We're doing a big historic renovation on a hotel that we're partnered in a little town called Glen Rose, Texas. And so far, the small boutique hotels we've done have been a part of have been 8 to 15 rooms. And so this is going to be a 32-room hotel. So it's more hotel-like, it's bigger. So that's very exciting for us. And we're actively working with investors who are looking for deals. And instead of, them having to hire a manager, we're willing to come in with a percentage of equity and just partner and help people figure this stuff out with true partners. So just helping people who love real estate and are looking for ways to invest in real estate to bring in that hospitality aspect because it just helps you leverage it and increase your revenue, and because you're not just getting the equity gain and the monthly rate when you have a bunch of long-term rentals, but you're bringing much more revenue, and you can do forced appreciation much faster.
And y'all do some coaching too, right? Don't you have a program available that teaches this?
Yes. The
Okay.
Hospitality Hustle coaching program is really how to stand out in short term rentals in today's market, which is wildly different than 2 years ago's market. The amenities and the level of service, people check into a short term rental and they expect a hotel. And they expect what they're getting from Marriott, and how to meet these expectations and still maintain profitability, and how to transition without fear into the boutique hotel space. And, is there a really cool abandoned office building over that coffee shop you go to? Could that be a 10-room hotel? Like looking at the world around me differently, where everything could be a hotel. I know people who are buying old jails and making them into boutique hotels. There's a super cool church in Nashville. It used to be a church, it's now a boutique hotel. Like looking at everything differently is opportunity to do something creative for guests and branding.
All right. If you're listening in, I say this a lot on the show, and this is an area that interests you, follow along with people like Dawn who know what they're doing. She just said something very important. STRs aren't the same today as they were 2 years ago. When you are learning real estate from folks, learn it from people who are doing it now. Someone telling you what worked 2 years ago won't work now. You're going to have no vacancies. You're going to have a bunch of vacancies. It's not going to run. Real estate is a lifelong learning game where what's happening now is what you need to be learning. So, Don, for those that are out there listening or watching in that are interested in coaching, that are interested in following along with what you have going on, what's the best way for them to find you?
I post a lot on Instagram. I use my personal Instagram page, which my hashtag is or handle is of a great day, because it's always going to be a great day. And then our website, my husband's a real sport with doing the funny videos with me. He's a champ. He tolerates a lot, but we have a lot of fun sharing education through humor. And then our website is thehospitalityhustle.com.
Like I said before, when you meet a true professional, follow along with them, see what they're doing. Their success is not by accident. So we'll have all of Don's links in our show notes below. So make sure you check it out. Don, thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate your time, your story, your perspective. I think we need more people out there doing it like you're doing it, actually building the business, creating the life you want. So thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Micah.
Absolutely. For those listening and watching in, if you got value out of today's episode, please like this episode, share it with someone else you think could get value out of it if they're interested in this same space. As always, please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We appreciate every single one of you that follows along with us out there. We have more conversations coming up with operators just like Dawn out there building a real business in the industry. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.